Welcome back to our weekly live. If you are new here, my name is Natasha. I'm a social media strategist, and today I'm going to be talking about that feeling that you have when a client tells you that they are pausing or they don't want to work with you again or they don't want to use your services again, and not like you have a rift or a fight or you did anything wrong, but they just want to move on. Now, that feeling that you have during this time. For example, if a client tells you that they want to stop working with you, and the very first feeling that you have is panic, is how do I do it from here? Where do I go from here? What next am I supposed to be doing with my life? That feeling that you have, that's what we are going to be talking about today, right? Now, this session is about your income architecture. It's not going to be talking about hooks, it's not going to be talking about content tips, it's not going to be talking about all of those things, but how your income can flow naturally, how your income can flow with or without the client as a social media manager. So if you are just joining, comment the word yes so that I can say hello to you, and then comment where you're joining from. Now, let's dive in. Now, the real problem is income fragility. So what this means is that it means that when your income is based on a probability, when your income is not constant, is not certain, when your income is when you're not sure of your income because it is based and tied to a client. Maybe 40% of your income is tied to just one client, and you think that, okay, if this client just drop me, what happens next? So that is like one of the real problem. And where that puts you is that you start to get afraid. You start to see yourself as, oh, how am I supposed to do it now? What should I do next? And all of that. So we are going to be talking about that today. Now, it's not about how many clients that you have, because sometimes you can have 10 clients, you can have 5 clients, and then one client will still leave you and you still feel so bad. You still feel like it is more than just one client. Meanwhile, you can even have 5 clients. I was talking about my experience, I think it was about 2 years ago, and I lost about 3 clients in 1 month. Now, for the 3 month, for the 3 clients that I lost in 1 month, it's not like the 3 clients know each other. I've been knew each other. They never knew each other. It's not like I did something wrong. Nope. It was 3 different reasons. Do you understand? No, now for client 1, the client 1 left because maybe probably okay, the client 1 left because our page was flagged for running so many ads on Facebook, and then she lost her page because of that. Right. And then client two, client two, client two left because she couldn't afford my services again. She was not making as much money as she intended to be making. And she was transparent with me. She told me that, oh, Natasha, I'm not going to be able to work with you again. And it's not because of what you're doing, it's not because of you're not doing well, it's not because I'm not seeing progress, but I just cannot afford your services right now because I have a lot of commitments family wise. And I understood and moved on. Now I'm talking about the same month. Now the third client, what that one did was that she said, oh, what happened was that, oh, I she's always struggling. That one was, I think she was a makeup, I think a skin esthetician or something like that. She was we were working together, but she had issues with making videos, because I usually tell her, okay, make video of yourself like this, try to do talking head videos, record your processes, record your behind the scenes and all of that. But she was not able to keep up because she was like the only person that is doing the business. And she now started telling me how she needed somebody that will be coming in to make videos for her, including posting on social media and giving strategies and all of that. And I couldn't come in because I think she's in Canada, and we are like oceans apart. We couldn't work together again because of that. And she told me about how our budget is only going to be okay for um a client that comes, I mean, for a social media manager that is in-house or maybe hybrid. And that means we couldn't work together again. That means I've just talked about three clients in 1 month. So for you to lose, if you have maybe, for example, I remember that time that that happened. I had five clients, and losing three clients in 1 month, I was so hungry. I was, I was feeling like, oh my God, why did this happen? Why did this happen? And I was feeling so bad. Now, I wasn't feeling like that from the money point of view. I was feeling like that from my own point of view that, okay, why must it be three clients? Why will I lose three clients in the same month? Why must it be me? Like, I was feeling like that. I never knew that, even though I knew that these three clients, they didn't leave me because of my personality or the way that I worked with them. It was based on their individual issues and problems. And it's understandable. But I was still narrowing down to myself. If you've ever felt like this, you understand what I mean. Like that feeling that you have when a client leave, it feels like a wave of sadness that, oh my God, well, you just have multiple feelings. Now, in as much as I had two other clients left, I was still feeling bad because I lost three. I wasn't even thinking about the two that I had left. Now, the thing is that if losing your client gives you, losing your client makes you entirely, maybe your financial, what is it called, is it goes from 100 to maybe 30% because you lost a client, or maybe you don't even have, what is it called, you don't even understand how to, you lost a client, but you are not, you don't know what to do from there. You don't know what next to do. You are confused, sad. You cannot even walk. You cannot even look for other clients because you are just clueless. Now you can feel like that maybe in the first day, but if you cannot move on and go to the next level, then that is where the problem lies. Because really, if you are fragile, it means that you cannot walk away. It means that if that particular client that you lost tells you that, oh, I want to reduce your payment, you still accept because you don't want the clients to go. Do you understand? So fragile people cannot walk away from a client. And the thing is that it is when you get to a point that even when you leave a client or when a client leaves you, you still, you are still yourself, and then you are still in control. That is exactly when you have the real leverage as a social media manager. If not, you keep entering the emotional trap of being with one client or the other, even though they are not, what is it called, they are not who you are meant to be with. I mean the clients that you are with, right? So my point is that as you lose a client, what is the roadmap that you have in place? What do you have? Because what actually gives you confidence that your clients will not leave you is if you have structure, and then you have a system. And even when they leave, your structure and your system is still in place to get a new client. Now let's move on. Um okay, so I just okay, I fully understand. Hello Charles, hello Joy. Welcome to the class. Now another thing is that people think that a lot of social media manager, they believe that um I cannot make money unless I sell my time as a social media manager. That is a huge lie. Your skill is there, fine, but you need to monetize your skill. If you don't monetize your skill, you will end up selling your time for money all the time. And this is not going to help you in the long run. You have to think far. Fine, you are just a social media manager for now. Maybe you are a student, or maybe you just finished university, or you're not even married, or even you are married, or you are just still doing it as a side also. But if you want to build a system, you want to build a real business from being a social media manager, then you need to have like a foresight, thinking ahead. What happens when you don't have a client? What happens when social media platforms shut off? What happens when um clients are not forthcoming? I've seen people that are actually experts that have worked for so long, and then they lose their client, and then they are looking at themselves like they don't even know what next to do. And then they start looking for clients, and it's not just like before. It has happened before. So my point is that what how do you leverage it in such a way that when things like that happen, it doesn't get to you and you already have like a cushion to fall down on. You are not falling down to the flat. We are going to be talking about that now. Now, um I know that when you have a client that you've been working for so long, you feel like you are already identified with that client. You are putting all of your work, all of your what is it called, all of your expertise, your skills. You are working with that client religiously, thinking that this client will even increase my pay. But all of a sudden, the client sends you an email. Oh my God, I can't work with you again. I have to do this. I have to do that. See you later or something like that, and then they leave you just like that. The thing is that because a lot of social media managers, their income is tied to I work 10 hours, I get money 10 hours. They are not opening their mind to see that you can actually earn money from different things other than you selling your time alone. Now we are going to be talking about ways that you can do it. Selling time versus building assets. Now, what is building asset? Building asset is when you have assets to sell instead of your time. Building asset is when you have things to sell. Maybe it could be your it could be your mind, it could be your thoughts, it could be how you simplify things. Excuse me, guys. Oh, I can't pick this call. BRB. Sorry, oh, I'm live, I'm live, I'm live. Okay. Can you imagine? I was trying to cut the call and I picked it. Anyways, so it could be the way you I lost my train of thoughts. Anyway, so it could be building assets is you having like what you want to sell that is not your time. It could be your thought process. It could be the way you audit. It could be the way you help people. It could be the things that you do that seem easy to you, and then you package it and monetize it. You are selling it repeatedly, and then you don't have to do it at that time that you're selling it. That's an asset. Now, selling your time for money, it has a ceiling, and it stops when you cannot do it. Do you understand? So your goal is to have, apart from you selling your time for money, which you are already doing or you can be doing now, but your goal should be that how do I go from being a social media manager that sells time for money to one that has assets that generate value, whether or not you are working with a client or not. How do I turn my social media manager management business to personal branding and then to a voice that people trust enough that they can, buy things from me? That is like the big picture that you need to have in mind when you are creating, when you are creating your business, when you're trying to shift your business, because it's important for you to understand as a social media manager, your value and your validation is not only tied to you having a client. Because imagine you have a client, all of your goal is have a high ticket client, have a client, work with international brands, have so many clients, do this, do that. And what if you now have the client and then the client doesn't want to work with you after maybe 2 months? What next? That is what you should be thinking about. Now, there are so many ways because I have to write some of these things down. There are so many ways to make money besides you selling your time for money as a social media manager. Excuse me. If you want to make money, there, in fact, this is 2026. There's a million and one way to make money on social media that has nothing to do with your skill as a social media manager. First of all, you have to know that. And you need to expand your mind to be able to do that. You are still looking for a client as a social media manager. Oh, I don't have a client yet. I don't know what to do next. I'm this, I'm that. You know, okay. I'm this, I'm that. I don't have a client yet. I don't know what to do next. How do I even get clients? Let's put that aside. How do you monetize what you think that you know? Number one, you can do that through creating digital products. Digital products are what you know that you can create. For example, what you know that you know that you can create for other social media managers, maybe business owners. It could be business owners, it could be your audience, whatever the case may be. You pick a niche. When you pick a niche, and then you look for the utmost problem that it could have, maybe, I mean specific problem that you think it is available in your niche. And how can you even do that? You don't even, it's so good that you don't even have to think about all of these things in your head. There are so many AIs that you can use. Go on ChatGPT, go on Claude AI, type it there. How my audience, my specific audience are this. What are the things that they struggle with? You don't even know your audience. Okay, maybe you're a social media manager and your audience are business owners, and maybe you don't want to be a social media manager. I mean, you don't want to sell your time for money at this point in time, but you have a lot of audience that are business owners. They're always coming to your DM, and then you think about it. What can I do to these people? Go on Claude AI, go on ChatGPT, compare, type in there. How can I? What is that thing that I can do for business owners that will solve their specific problem for them? Now, specific problem that is solving for them. I'm not talking about you just creating something that when they see it, they will swipe away. A lot of business owners, when they see that that thing is going to make them more money, they'll buy it. When they see that it's going to give them more time, they'll buy it. Those are the two financial things that business owners look for. I mean, two important things that business owners look out for when they are buying digital products. They look out for, is it going to make me money? Is it going to make me time? If your product is not doing those two things for them, they're not going to buy it. They are not going to buy it. If you sell a product to them that is, maybe the product is going to give them peace of mind, or the product is going to this product is going to make you have more confidence, they are not going to buy all those things. But if you tell them this product is going to make you money, or it's going to buy you time, they will buy it. Now, you already know that two goals: a product that buy them that time, a product that makes them money. Now, go back to ChatGPT. What product can I offer? What product can I sell as a digital product, as a social media manager, to business owners that is going to make them more money or give them more time? You get millions of ideas. And if you want to take it a step further, you can even ask, what is the most what is it called? What is the highest question? What is the most asked question by business owners, SMEs, about making money or about getting more time? When you get their highest questions, then you create a product that answers that question. You will sell it. Trust me. This is what I've been doing repeatedly. I've done this repeatedly. I've done it repeatedly for so long, to the point that it makes me sell. I remember when I was selling a planner for business owners. What made me sell the planner for business owners? I was I remember then that I was in my DM. I'm always receiving DMs. Natasha, how can I do this? I want to stay consistent. Some will even tell me that they are social media managers, but the problem is that their social media manager, the content calendar that they create and share with them is always so basic and generic. It's not intentional, and all of those. They tell. I can't count how many people send to me. How can I create a content calendar? How can I create a content planner? How can I do this? And I just thought about it, that why are these people always asking me this? And I thought, okay, since everybody's asking me this, that means it's a problem. I need to bring a solution. And I created a product called Content Planner for Business Owners. You guys, I can't count how many copies of that product that I sold. I remember that I sold that product for 40,000 naira. A lot of business owners bought it. A lot of business owners bought that product. A lot of business. So my point is that if your product is actually answering a question, if it's a solution to a problem, people will buy it. But before you create it, you need to make a research. If you don't make a research before you create it, you're not going to sell. People are not going to buy. People are not going to buy. So making a research is one of the most important thing that you can do before you create that product. Now, digital products, I already said it, that you package what you already do for clients into something sellable. That is selling your knowledge, monetizing your knowledge. As a social media manager, you should be doing that by now. You don't focus alone on selling your time for money. You focus on selling your time for money is okay, but you need to have a backup plan. Now, examples of digital product that you can create. You can create templates, you can create playbooks, you can create systems, you can create niche specific strategy guides, you can create ebooks, you can create things that you know that your client you already do for your clients that is sellable. Create it into a product and sell. You can even sell Canva templates. If you can offer that as a product, you should be able to market it so that people understand the solution the product is giving. Another thing that you can sell, if you don't want to be selling your time for money, as a social media manager, if you don't want to keep being afraid that a client will leave you, oh, this client is not going to work with me, or this client will just say blah, 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 or even you are leaving a client, or you don't even have any client. Another thing that you can do is have a part of your business that has live audit, live strategy for business owners like you. What does that mean? Grab a business owner, tell them that you're going to be auditing their page live, and then start to sell that as a product. Tell them that, okay, if you book a one-on-one with me, 1 hour in a day, normally your 1 hour in a day maybe what is it called? If you calculate how much you earn and then you divide it into 1 hour, maybe like 20,000, I don't know, or maybe like $20. Now, if you want to be a strategist, that is they are hiring you, they are consulting your business. What you need to do is to charge for it. It's a specific kind of offer. So you charge for it. For 1 hour, maybe you're charging maybe like 100,000 naira or $100. And then you get maybe like 5 people doing that for you. That's extra money for you in a month that you can actually create content towards. So your content doesn't have to be just to, oh, hire me, I work with business owners, oh, business owners from there. No, it could actually be you marketing your own product. That gives you that scalable um what is it called? You are not always at the edge thinking that, oh, this client will not work with me again. Oh, this client will not need my service again. Oh, this business doesn't have security. They can just leave me at any time. They can do you should have a backup plan, a sustenance plan. That is why I remember there was a time when I was pregnant with my second daughter. I, the pregnancy was about, was it 5 months then? I was just so I was feeling somehow. I was just not in that mood, You are not in that mood of creating content. I'm not so active and creating content. But because I've built a system in place, I sell my digital products without me having to post every day. My email list is there. I have made it such a way that the funnel is working with or without me dishing out content every day. It is automated. Guess who is still making sales? Me. I was still making sales even though I was not consistent online. I was not consistent with even with the client that I was working with. I had to like stop working with about 2 clients just because I was heavily pregnant. I couldn't keep up. So imagine that in a situation where I don't have any backup plan, I won't be able to leave any client and I'll still be working my ass out, even though it is not convenient for me. Do you understand? So my point is that it gives you what's the word, a kind of confidence and a kind of peace that you know that even when this client leaves, I have something doing. Even when this client leaves, I'm still um um I'm still okay. Now there's this thing that I know that causes all of these issues the most, is because people, especially social media managers, when they are working with a client, they neglect their own personal page. They neglect their own business page, thinking that because I'm working with the clients, I'm so, I'm so, the client's work is so much. I don't have time for myself. I don't have time for my business. I'm giving my best and my all to this client. That's perfect, but it's not good enough because imagine this client leaves you anytime. That page that you have abandoned, that is where you are still going back to get new clients. So why would you abandon it just so that you can work with your client? So you have to get to a point where as you are working with your clients, no matter how many clients that you have, your page is not dead. Your personal growth is going on. That is when you have the confidence to know that even when this client leave you, you can still get another client. because there's no point in giving your all to a client and then your back end is shitty. It's not going to work. You can sell strategy, you can sell your thinking, your processes. You don't It doesn't have to be your time. So that's another way to make money as a social media manager without selling your time. Another way to make money is you getting brand deals. Getting brand deals doesn't just fall on your lap. And it doesn't even matter whether you have 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers, or 2,000 followers. What is more important is if you have a consistent and a genuine, authentic social media, brands will reach out to you. And even if they don't reach out to you, you should pitch to brands. That's another way of getting income as a social media manager. Look for the emails of brands that you respect, brand that you want to work with. Look for their emails, send pitching emails to them. If you send 100, at least two people will respond. Is enough. If you send like maybe on 200 emails in a month and two, three people, you get two, three yeses, that is okay. That's another side also for you. So when you have those things in place, it makes you have that leverage, that peace, and then you are not working under pressure. You are not having that scarcity mentality while working. That's another way. Now, another way also is community or membership. Now, what this does is that you have recurring, what is it called? Recurring income that compounds. What this does is that whether you post or not, your community will join your people will join your community, and then they will engage with your community, and then they will pay after a period of time. People do this a lot, especially social media managers abroad. Now, another thing that you can do as a social media manager to make money without you consistently looking for clients for every time is you having, what is it called? What is it called? Yeah, I think I already spoke about brand deals. Is you having like a base retainer and bonus tied KPI. Now, what this talks about is that, for example, if you are working with a client and then the client is like maybe 3 months and the client already paid ahead, and you want this client to help you get referrals from this client, you can give this client a bonus and then ask the client that, because you are going to be helping me you are going to be referring me to other clients, I'm going, instead of getting maybe 100,000 from you, I'm going to be getting 70,000 naira from you. That 30,000 naira, you can have it, but you have to help me refer me to other people, business minded people like you. So that's another way. Now, that part is just for confidence and people that are actually social media managers that are actually that actually knows their onions. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Excuse me, guys. Clients leaving you is normal. I want you to understand this. Clients leaving you is normal. You are not bound to have the same client for 2 years, for 3 years, for 4 years. A client can work with you this year and choose not to work with you again forever, and nothing will happen. Client leaving you is not a big deal. Client leaving you can make you feel bad for a second, but you should know that it's normal. Everybody lose clients, and it's normal. Even me, I remember there was a time that I was working with a client and she left. I worked there for like 2 months. She left. We almost even had an issue. And by herself, she came back 10 months after without me even having to ask her anything. So when clients leave, it's not a big deal. Client can leave you. You should make sure that it is normal to you. It is a feature of your service. It happens because it must happen. Now, it is not something that you should now believe that, oh, is an evidence that I'm not doing well, or is an evidence that my business is failing, or I don't know this social media management thing. It has nothing to do with you most times. It could be their budget, which I just mentioned before. It could be pivots, it could be internal hires. It has nothing to do with your work. Now, your a lot of social media managers, what I've realized is that the desperation that they have to get a new client, it makes them lower their price. I was watching a podcast where somebody mentioned that selling a $100 product to 10,000 people, sorry, selling a $100 product to 100 people is easier than selling a $10 product to 1,000 people, because it means that the higher the volume of your customers, the lower your chances of getting hired. So now let's bring it back to social media management. If you, because you're a social media manager and then you believe that, okay, I don't have a client right now. So because I don't have a client, I have to make sure that my price is extremely affordable. It shows desperation. They will hire you, but sorry, you are going to work a lot of free. You are going to waste your time most of the time. I saw a tweet today that somebody talked about how that she doesn't believe that social media managers are still charging $500 in a month. That she cannot believe that. That is that person's reality. But in this side of the world, social media managers are still charging as low as 50,000 naira. So one of the things that you shouldn't do as a social media manager is that when you need a client, you shouldn't negotiate you shouldn't negotiate from fear. You don't discount, you don't accept scope creep. Another thing is that you avoid ad conversations because you are scared of losing that client. That should not be there. Now, another thing that I realize is that when your income is stable and then you know that you put a price on value, your energy will shift completely as a social media manager. You don't have to put yourself in a position where you are always terrified that, okay, this client will leave me. This client will, instead of using that time to think about that, use that time to create a product that you can actually sell, product that can actually make you money. I've seen people make thousands of dollars just by selling digital products. Some of them are not even, I've seen somebody that sold thousands of dollars of digital products. This person is not a social media manager. She's not even a content creator, but she sells products on how to be a content creator. She sells products on how to be a social media manager, and she's never been a social media manager. And people are buying. So most times you don't even have to wait till you experience it. Sometimes it's just what you know. What you know is what you know. Package it and monetize it. If you as a social media manager, you have multiple streams of income, you are just making yourself have lot of ways to get money without you being under pressure that a client will leave you or a client will just stop working with you at any time. You have there's this peace and leverage that you have. Trust me, it gives you that peace. You are not always, on the edge. And it's not a life or death issue. Seriously. So my advice to you today, what should you do? What is this class for? Is that number one, audit. Audit your business, audit your page, audit your that anything that has to do with social media management that you are doing right now. Audit, map your income, how many clients you have, your sources, your percentages, how much notice before each could disappear. Because a lot of you, one of the reasons why your client disappear in, like, they just tell you in any time like a surprise, is because you don't have anything in place. For you don't have a contract in place, you don't have anything that any consequences in place. That is why they can just send you a DM or probably send you an email. They don't want to work with you the same day, and that is over. If you have a contract where you have a section in your contract that says that you cannot leave, if you want to stop working with me, You tell me a month before or 30 days before. If not, this and this and this will happen. And even you cannot decide to leave the client 30 days before. It gives you that structure and window of peace. Even though, if a client send you an email that, okay, Natasha, I don't want to work with you from so we are in February, from February the 13th next month, I will stop working with you. Do you know that I'll still have, even though I'm not happy that this client is leaving me, but for the fact that she says from on the 30th of March, I'll stop working with you, it gives me like a space to soak it in and then to know, okay, what do I do next? Not that you just send a mail and then that is it. So I want you to audit your processes, map your income, your sources, your percentage, how much notice before each of your clients can disappear. Now, number two, find your hidden assets. What product can you create? What is the thing that you're already doing for your clients that you can package into a sellable offer? And then you can turn it into probably templates, frameworks, systems, things that you have been doing that you already know that you can package and sell. Go on Nestude, go on Seller, create a product, start to market it. That is going to be like your what you fall back on when your client leaves you. There was a time that I was not working with any client for like 6 months. That was when I was talking about when I was pregnant. I even when I gave birth, I was pregnant. During the pregnancy, I had to at a point I couldn't handle any clients. I stopped working with any client. Even when I gave birth, I stopped working with any clients, maybe for like the first 3 months. That's about 6 months. But I was still not afraid because my digital products is giving me passive income frequently. I was still getting about 500, $600 in a month without me doing anything. So it makes it just easier. I'm not in a do or die affair of if I don't have a client, what happens? Don't be a social media manager in that because creativity doesn't come from there. You just be struggling. You just be desperate. And desperation doesn't bring anything good. So number three, fix your contract. When you have a contract, it protects you, it protects your client. So I said number one is map your income. Number two is find your hidden assets, which is digital product that you want to create. Number three, fix your contract. Now, phase two. Now that is phase one. Now, phase two of this is that build your first assets. If you are a social media manager and you are on this live or you are watching this live any other time and you are thinking about what am I going to create? What do I even know that I want to sell? Who is going to buy? That is a huge mistake because you already have something that people are interested in rather. Find what that thing is. Start with what you already have. Start with what is already ready. It doesn't have to be impressive. It could be something that maybe you are very good in doing voiceovers, you know. You can package it into a course, into something that you can quickly create and start to sell it. How to create voiceovers, how to make there are people that very good in this voiceover. On TikTok, I used to see videos of some girls, content creators, that when they create a voiceover, you almost want to enter your phone and join them in that thing that is happening because they are so good. They know how to tell stories. There's a technique to that. It doesn't just happen. As I am like this, I don't really know how to tell stories like that. I don't even do voiceover posts on my post like that, just once in a while. Even when I do voiceover, I'll have to write the things I want to put in the voiceover. I'll write it down, write a script, and start to read it in the voiceover. But I'm talking about these girls, they are so naturally blessed in such a way that they're naturally talented, in such a way that when they pick their phone like this, the voiceover is always like a story. You will laugh, is a technique. There's a technique to it, and it's a gift. You can package a course on how to do the right voiceover and sell it. Not once, not twice. You can do it as many times. And if you are afraid of creating a product, just create one. Sell that one. And if one If one person just buy that one product, it is a yes to you that okay, this product is valid. People can actually buy it. If you don't have anything to sell, your content planning system, how do you create content for 4 clients? Maybe you have 4 clients that is paying you maybe 50,000 naira. And you're thinking that okay, this client, how am I going to how do I work with them without running mad as a social media manager? Because this work requires a lot of time management, productivity, and all of that. How will I work with these 4 clients? How do you do it consistently working with these 4 clients? How do you create content for them? Write your processes down and sell it. People will buy. Social media managers will buy. That is your first product without being impressive and doing anything serious. And it will still sell. So when you do it, price it, post about it, sell it. Version 1 just needs to exist first of all. Because sometimes when you don't do all of these things, that's where the problem lies. Now, the confidence to raise your price, it starts from structure. I say this all the time. When you don't have a structure, you're not going to be able to raise your price without feeling afraid that they will leave you. See, I think by now I'm trying to start sound like a broken record because I've said it so many times. You need structure as a social media manager. You need infrastructure. You need to have a system. Another thing you can do is raise your charges. You can raise your charges when you have at least one other income streaming running. That is when you are not afraid to raise your charges because you are thinking that okay, if I raise my price, this client, even if this client should fire me, I have something to fall back on. So doing that, you frame it as a professional update, not as a request. You are not begging. You are telling them this is what you charge now. I already said that. Another thing is that the 40-40-20 target. Now, this particular 40-20-20 I mean 40-40-20 target, it means that 40% retainers, 40% products plus product plus intensive licensing, then 20% community. If you can have that as a social media manager, you are going to be able to scale quickly. So one of it cannot collapse your business. You have 40% retainer, 40% what is it called? Product or incentive that you are selling, and then 20% from community. So what I would advise you to do today is that you should take about um maybe 2 days or 3 days, try to re-strategize what product can I create as a social media manager that I can sell to either social media managers, either business owners, that will be a solution to them that they will be able to buy from me. That they will be able to buy for me. Because trust me, the goal is for you to hear a client leaving you and then just say, oh, that's okay. Or maybe you just say, it's been great working with you and you're at peace. Rather than you hearing a client leaving you and you are running helter skelter. What do I do now? What next? That calm is not a personality trait. It is a result of you having structure. You cannot get it unless you have structure. If you are a strategist, start showing up as it. Start building something that belongs to you. Start doing things that you know that even when I don't work, it will still pay me. Those are passive incomes. Anyway, so you guys, make sure that you're liking this video as you're watching it and make sure you drop a comment. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe. Also, I've been talking about system, infrastructure, and structure. If you are just joining, make sure that you get my Pro Social Media Manager Client and Content Kit. Those are the things that actually give you structure. For example, the Social Media Manager Client and Content Kit, it has contract templates in it. It has content strategy. It has analytics reports, and so many other templates that you need as a social media manager. Now, now the contract I was talking about is in there. You need a contract because a client will not just tell you that they are leaving anytime because they already signed a contract with you. And it's not just any contract, it's a contract that has all the specific information that protects you as a social media manager is already in the contract. So it is important for you to get it. If you want to get the link to get it is in the description in this video, or just search for me on Instagram, Natasha Adefala on Instagram. My name is right here. Just search for me on Instagram and send me a DM. Send KIT, that's Kit, in my DM, and you get a link to get it immediately. Thank you guys for joining the call, and then see you until next Friday. It's been great speaking.